There is a form of loneliness that modern relationships rarely talk about. Not the loneliness of being physically alone, but the loneliness of emotionally depending on another person to feel emotionally alive. Some people do not simply fall in love. They become addicted to the emotional experience of love itself, the waiting, the uncertainty, the validation, the emotional highs and lows. And slowly, love stops feeling peaceful. It begins feeling like emotional survival. Carl Jung believed that much of human behavior is driven by unconscious emotional patterns formed long before adulthood, long before modern dating, long before social media. And many people carry invisible emotional wounds into every relationship they enter, especially the fear of abandonment, the fear of not being chosen, the fear of not being enough. And sometimes, what appears to be love is actually the desperate attempt to escape emotional emptiness. Modern culture romanticizes emotional obsession. People celebrate, thinking about someone constantly, checking messages endlessly, feeling emotionally consumed, losing sleep over attention. But obsession is not intimacy, emotional dependency is not connection, and anxiety is not love. Yet many people confuse emotional intensity with emotional depth. Because intensity creates stimulation, and stimulation can temporarily silence loneliness. This is why emotionally addictive relationships often feel impossible to leave. The relationship may create pain, but it also creates emotional escape. A notification, a message, a small moment of affection, and suddenly the nervous system feels relief. For a moment, the loneliness disappears. But emotional addiction always has a hidden cost. The self slowly disappears with it. Carl Jung warned that people often project unmet emotional needs onto others. This is called projection. A person begins believing, this person will complete me. This relationship will heal me. If they choose me, I will finally feel worthy. And this is where suffering quietly begins. Because no human being can permanently carry the weight of another person's emptiness. Eventually, emotional addiction creates exhaustion. A woman begins overthinking constantly, analyzing silence, rereading conversations, checking her phone repeatedly, waiting for emotional reassurance, and the relationship slowly becomes psychological dependence, not partnership. Dependence. Many emotionally addictive relationships follow the same pattern: moments of emotional closeness, followed by emotional distance. This inconsistency becomes neurologically powerful. The brain starts chasing emotional reward the same way it chases dopamine, and the more unpredictable the affection becomes, the more emotionally consuming the relationship feels. This is why emotionally unavailable people can become strangely addictive. Not because they offer peace, but because they activate emotional hunger. Jung believed that unconscious wounds always seek expression, and sometimes people unconsciously recreate emotional instability because instability feels emotionally familiar, especially for those who grew up around emotional inconsistency, conditional affection, unpredictable validation, or emotional neglect. The nervous system learns to associate love with emotional uncertainty. So when calm, emotionally safe love appears, it can initially feel unfamiliar, even boring. Because chaos creates stimulation. But healthy love rarely feels chaotic. It feels safe, consistent, quiet, and emotionally available. Unfortunately, modern relationships often reward emotional performance instead of emotional honesty. People learn how to appear desirable without learning how to emotionally connect. Social media intensified this emotional confusion. Attention became mistaken for intimacy. Validation became mistaken for worth. And emotional availability became increasingly rare. Many people today are not addicted to love. They are addicted to emotional distraction, to being wanted, to feeling temporarily important, to escaping inner loneliness through romantic intensity. But eventually, every emotionally addictive relationship reaches a breaking point. A person becomes emotionally exhausted. The anxiety becomes heavier than the pleasure. And slowly, they begin realizing something painful. Love should not require abandoning yourself. It should not destroy your nervous system. Not partnership. Carl Jung believed that healing begins when people become conscious of their unconscious patterns. When they stop asking, "Why am I not enough for them?" and start asking, "Why do I feel emotionally incomplete without them?" This question changes everything, because true emotional healing does not begin with another relationship. It begins with returning to yourself. Learning to sit with loneliness without immediately trying to escape it. Learning to feel emotionally whole without constant validation. Learning that your worth cannot depend on another person's attention. Perhaps this is why so many emotionally mature people become quieter with time. Not because they stopped believing in love, but because they stopped confusing emotional chaos with emotional connection. And slowly, they begin realizing something painful. Love should not require abandoning yourself. It should not destroy your nervous system. It should not make peace feel impossible. The people who truly love you rarely make you feel addicted to them. They make you feel safe enough to remain yourself. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications for future reflections.